So I have to tell you that I am challenged. And I'm challenged because typically my workshops take 2 days. I have done it in 1 day, and I think the shortest I ever done was 4 hours. And I think I have 40 minutes? Okay. So I think the best thing is just to jump into it immediately without any introductions. If you look through the full fundraising process, so if I really simplify it, these are the steps. First, you have to create some kind of leads, which come usually either from a networking event. I assume you're going to do it a lot outside. From pitches, like TechCrunch pitches, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10-minute pitches when you're on stage. Or from emails. You cold email or warm email a potential investor. So this creates leads. Next step is a follow-up. First of all, internally you want to follow up, so you want to know who to follow up with. Then you have to send a follow-up. Then it's meeting number 1, which usually probably the most crucial meeting you have. Then you have follow-up meetings. Then it goes to the IC, the investment committee, and then finally, hopefully, it leads to cash. Okay, so we're going to try to focus on two scenarios. One is the networking, which I think you're going to do most outside, as I mentioned, and also I know many of the companies who sit here, they're going to have one-on-one meetings. Before that, what do investors look for? If you think you have to pick 1 or 2 attributes, key attributes, what would that be? What are the attributes that you would want to convey to investors? Any ideas? You know what you're talking about? Good. Great. Sorry? Great. Okay. I like that. Confidence, what? Enthusiasm, all great. ROI? Innovation, okay, great. It's interesting. Go ahead. Okay, like that. Vision, okay. So I think the number one thing that investors look for is integrity. That you can, I think what somebody said, that you can trust me. I can be the best entrepreneur, the biggest genius, I can have the best idea. If you don't trust me, no way. So the number one attribute is that you can trust me. What is number 2? So number 2, I call it the promised land. There has to be an upside, whatever it is. But there has to be an upside, and I am going to be the one who will take you there. Now, by the way, sometimes in cases, it's not an upside. We call it FOMO. You know what FOMO stands for? Fear of missing out. But it's typically an upside. So the issue is, if you are an entrepreneur or a CEO, when you come in front of the investor, you can't just say, hi, I just came out from this pitching training in the other room, and I learned that, you're looking for trust, integrity, and promised land, so you can trust me. I have integrity. And I will take you to the promised land. You're already in Jerusalem. And so, write a check. The art of the pitch is how to tell your story, which conveys these 2 points without directly stating them. That is the art of the pitch, in my humble opinion. Okay? So, I would like to get you to do a little bit of exercise. This is, I think, I try to summarize it. Every entrepreneur has to know 4.5 pitches. 4.5 pitches. Now, one is missing, the first one. What would that be? Elevator pitch? One-liner. Getting there. So I call it the handshake pitch. You do most of the pitches. Many people talk about elevator pitch, but how many times you actually meet an investor in an elevator? It happened to me, by the way, a couple of times, but it's really rare, okay? So the handshake pitch, if you know what an elevator pitch is basically elevator pitch to the first floor, okay? The handshake pitch is your most important pitch, okay? So can we please handout, maybe just to divide it into quickly back on different areas. Thank you. And I would like you to do is the following. Now, usually, again, in a normal training workshop, we do this in, we have half an hour. We have now 3.2 minutes, okay? So what I would like you to do is to fill out the following. By the way, let's do this very quickly. The first line is the first column. When do I do handshake pitch? Where do I do it? I do it always. Networking pitch, where do you do it? Networking events. Pitch 5, the pitch 5 is usually do it in short internal and external pitches. So we're like in TechCrunch and etc. Meeting is you do it one-on-one meetings with investors. You usually have 20 to 60 minutes, and then you do the sales pitch. The sales pitch is when you meet clients. So what I would like you to do to spend really 3 minutes, don't write, what is Megillah in English? Megillah is Megillah in English, good. So please try to keep it short. I really would like you to get through this. Just write down some keywords. What is the goal? What is the goal of these 5 different scenarios? What should be in it and what should not be in it? Okay? So just really focus on those 5 different things. Handshake pitch, networking pitch, a pitch 5. Again, pitch 5 is when you're on stage, like TechCrunch, meeting, and sales pitch. Go for it. Okay, let's go. Handshake pitch. What is the goal of a handshake pitch? Sorry, be remembered. Nice. Engaging. Curiosity. Great. Okay. Okay. All right. All of them are good. I think that the goal of a handshake pitch is just to get permission to tell your story. Listen to the words. Get permission to tell your story. We discussed in a minute. What does that mean? Okay. What should be in it? What should be in it? What you do? Sorry, what did you say?
Your main idea.
Main idea. Core problem solutions. The hook. Some more? Sorry? Who we help. Smile. Smile. Oh, that's an out of the box. Okay, the vision. So I think, sorry, go ahead. The value proposition. So I think when you do a handshake pitch, the only thing that should be in a handshake pitch is one keyword, whatever that keyword is. Just one keyword that will prompt curiosity, that will get you permission to tell your story, which will the person will say, tell me more. The biggest issue with the handshake pitch, and I have seen it thousands and thousands of times, that is you want to tell your story already. You want to tell your value proposition. You want to tell the problem solution. This is my chance, and it's the biggest turnoff for an investor. The first thing you need to do is get permission to get there. So whatever that keyword is, what shouldn't be in it? Everything else. Nothing else, just one keyword. Whatever that keyword is, you can be creative. It can be, it's a beautiful day. I don't care. Just get me engaged and get me say, oh, okay, that's interesting. Tell me your story. Right? Okay, networking pitch. What do we do at networking pitch? What is the goal? Now you can say what you said. Get you a meeting. The goal of the networking pitch is at the end of that networking, whatever, you have 2 minutes, you have 7 minutes, is that you get a meeting. You close a meeting. Oops, we lost that. And what should be in it? Oh, nobody's there to say anything. A very simple and exciting story. And we're going to touch upon it also what it means. What shouldn't be in it? Everything else. Okay? So when it comes to this handshake pitch, networking pitch, I usually have you seen the movie? Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the movie, but you know, when it says A, B, C. Thank you. What is it? What do you say? A, B, C. Always be closing. So my suggestion is NBC. Never be closing. What does it mean? Why? you should never be focusing on closing. What you want to see pitching a little bit like a video game. It's like you go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. You don't want to save the princess when you don't have tools yet. You want to grab them. So level 1, what is the goal of level 1? Is that the audience or the investor says, okay, I don't know, is it maybe because of you, because of what's said, but now tell me your story. Now you can tell your story. You don't want to close yet. What do you want? You want to get a meeting because you're not going to close in a networking session. And by changing the mindset of that, it will help you to really change your pitch. Okay, pitch 5, when you're up doing a TechCrunch pitch. What is the goal? Impact? Okay. Okay. Those are all nice words. Get a meeting. Okay, good. Is that the investor? So I'm one of the pitchers here, okay? I have 20 more coming up on TechCrunch. 20 more. I want to be remembered. And for that, whatever that it means to you, you want to be remembered, and you want that afterwards, the investor will come here and says, Dennis, this was an interesting pitch. Here's my business card. Get me come and grab a cup of coffee with me. Okay? What should be in it? Again, a huge mistake that most entrepreneurs do is that they want to tell your whole story in a 5-minute pitch. And I think it's wrong. The only 2 things that you should focus on is you and the potential. Why? Remember at the very, very beginning? What were the 2 things that investors look for? Integrity. So I want to know who you are. I want to trust you. And also, I want to have the promised land. What shouldn't be in it? Technology. I really think that you shouldn't have technology when you have a 5-minute pitch on stage. Okay, goal, meeting 20 to 60. What is the goal? Obviously to invest. What should be in it? Now you can have everything, but how? And we get to it in a second. And what shouldn't be in it? Obviously nothing. Now when it comes to the sales pitch, what should be in the sales pitch? You want to have a trial buy? What should be in the sales pitch? What do you want? Benefit, okay? Numbers, roadmap. And many people usually say value proposition. Have you heard about value proposition? Wrong. Value proposition is wrong. Okay, I get it back for a second. Almost every time I do this class, 80% of the people usually say, oh, it's the value proposition. Wrong. What do clients care about? They don't care about value propositions. They care about the pain and the problem you solve on it. Okay? I suggest maybe wait with the pictures until the last one comes up. You know, you save a lot on your camera. You can do it, I'm not saying. What shouldn't be in it? Oops, technology. Now you can take the pictures. So, with this in mind, I would like to teach you one principle. Oops, one back. Okay. Tell me when it's all right, when it's fine. You want me to stand? Okay, got it. So I would like to introduce a principle which I've been using, and if I can get through to it, I think you can use that principle in all of these 5 pitches. And this principle is called the ethos, pathos, logos principle. Okay, you might have heard it. There are Greek rhetorical reference to that, but I will use it in a very different way. What is ethos? Ethos stands for credibility. Ethos, ethics, moral. Ethics stands for credibility. What's pathos? Pathos is connection, path, okay? And what's the third? Logos? Logos stands for the logic, the real content and message. What is the biggest issue that entrepreneurs do? What do they want to talk about? They want to flip it? They want to talk about? I mean, that's a good news if they want to flip it, by the way. All they want to focus on is the logos. All they want to talk about, and again, I'm maybe exaggerating or generalizing, but they want to talk about logic. They want to talk about the content, the technology. Okay? They want to talk about their message. And they don't care about so much ethos and pathos. By the way, any Israelis here? I hope not. Okay, no comments. They are. I'm also Israeli, by the way. But I'm saying Israelis really have a certain, they can exaggerate that even more. So the point is that all three has to be in it. All three have to be in it. And the order. The order. You don't want to talk about logos, logic, before you get ethos and pathos. Yeah? So again, the idea of ethos and pathos is asking permission to tell your logos. So ethos, you build credibility through trust and validators. We're going to touch base on validators in a minute. Pathos, you build the connection through your personality. If a personality that people connect to, great. But if you don't have that, you want to present a problem that the investors can identify with. And only once these two are met, you can advance to the next level, which is the logos, the solution, the details, and the ask. So let's talk about ethos. How you build credibility, because that's the biggest issue. Let's face it. When you are an entrepreneur and you go up on stage, or when you meet an investor, what do you think the investor's first thought that goes through his head? Who was that? Correct, in a way, I guess. Nobody's recording. Oh, the recording. Okay. Let's make this in a more PC way. Yeah. Like, what do you want from me? Everybody. So I mean, when somebody calls your phone and you don't know the person, you're like, okay, what do you want from me? You probably want something from me. Okay. So the idea is, why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to you? And you build this through validators. You build credibility to validators. Now, validators, it's easy to build when you have a resume or when you have a track record. If Elon Musk goes up on stage, he doesn't have to build and show you validators. He can go directly into logos, correct? Whatever because he has, it's natural. Now, if you have $50 million in revenue and $5 million cash flow, what is cash flow? Okay. Robbie likes cash flow as a CFO. So, again, I am listening. You don't need introductions. You don't need to build credibility or even patterns, because I want to learn about you, whoever you are, as long as I can trust you, of course, which I will find out later on or not. So you build these validators, and these are the validators are your Jolly Joker cards. You create validators by showing them that there are touchstones, things that investors can relate to. Anything that tells the audience that somebody has already approved it. It can be sales, obviously, the best, but if you don't, if you're really an early stage, hold my calls, please, then you are a startup. You don't have that, so you may want to do just a POC. I mean, we may have a POC, that's also great. It could be an award. Every person, if you're an entrepreneur, you must have some kind of award. My mom gave me an award, whatever it is. If you don't have TechCrunch yet, but you show me there is some kind of award that we say, okay, whatever it is, like you always say this, the best wine of the year, and what, you saw those stamps, and best wine of the year in, I don't know, Hukuchuku, and 19, whatever it is. You got a point. There is, if you cannot create some kind of award for yourself that you win, don't come and raise money. So basically, the idea is that we investors need some kind of validation. That you're just telling me what you are telling me, but someone else also validates that. Okay? And that's how your joker. And please, when you go back to the boardroom, you want to spend time on developing and thinking about all these validators. What are my validators? Now, logos, delivering the message. The next step is how can you go from building this credibility and connection, how you get into logos. And this is also a little bit of an art. You don't have to be professional at 100%, but it has to be, but it has to be as natural as possible. So I'll just give you an example, yeah? If you say this, in my time of working with Microsoft at their product team, I realized there was a great need of blah, blah, blah. I had to fix it, so I took my savings, and I raised some money from my family and friends, and now that's how I come to it. What does this sentence, this was 7 seconds. What I just read you was 7 seconds. What does this one sentence include? Experience. Does it give credibility? There is a credibility. I work with. Yeah. So there's two validators here. What are validators? Work with Microsoft, the product team. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, that's good. 2, you put your own money into it. Great. You left it, and so that's how I come to it, right? Now, because I don't have time, we can go through this. I can't touch upon this in depth, but basically the idea is how you make the story natural. And I maybe just share one quick story here, like with OurCrowd. Anybody can pitch OurCrowd for me? What is OurCrowd? Just give me a sentence, OurCrowd. Don't. Okay, nice. So I have done this with many people, even in our team. You know, we have a crowdfunding platform. We're doing this and this. What is the handshake pitch? What do I do when I go up to an investor who's, let's say I'm in Asia, maybe in Asia is not a good idea now, but let's say I'm in the US and I meet someone in a networking. What do I say? What is my handshake pitch?
Largest investor in Israeli startup.
I love that. Who's ever said it? I telling him that, oh, what do you do? Oh, we are the largest venture capital investors in Israel. What are the keywords in it? Largest, venture capital, and Israel. Largest venture capital, Israel. 5 words, 6 words maybe, with I am, we are. Yeah, what's in it? It's enough that the other person asks me the question, oh, interesting, so what are you investing in? And then I can take over the floor. Then I have at least a minute to speak. All I wanted him just to say, that's interesting, so what are you investing in? Or tell me what you have on your business card. It says crowd. Are you doing crowdfunding? Whatever it is. Don't get into, we are giving access, we are doing crowdfunding. I said, it's all in the next stage. But what you want to get is create an interest, okay, to tell your story. So just touch upon base a little bit on the meeting, because I think many of you will have one-on-one meetings here. Now, I think most of my portfolio companies who are here, they have 20. Just tell me when I should finish in 5 minutes.
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. Okay, good. Robbie? Yeah, you tell me. Okay, good. Okay, good. Meeting, 20 minutes. What should be in the meeting? And again, what I've tried to focus here then, just what I think you should change. Because I think everybody knows how a meeting goes. You go in, you present, you put your slides, and then you have a discussion. But this is what I would suggest. I just run through it quickly. Instead of what I see is that most entrepreneurs, when they go, and I do this 1,000 times a year. We have 200 portfolio companies. I bring most of my companies to Asia and bring them in to the room to meet some of the biggest investors, the Jack Ma's and the Lee Cushings. I am bringing them in front of them, and they just don't know how to tell their story. It's a huge turnoff. They start, and in 2 minutes, it's a turnoff. And the reason for it is that they don't cover ethos and pathos. What you want to do is take first. When you come in, you want to do a 1-minute introduction on your story. I want you to focus on ethos and pathos. Don't open your computer before you build that credibility and pathos. When you say that I'm Microsoft, you said, so may I introduce? So can I tell you the story, what we developed? He will say yes. Now, the next mistake is that you want to take, I have 20 minutes, I'm going to speak at 18 minutes. What I suggest, to do only 7 minutes, only 7 minutes. Don't forget, the attention plan, the average attention span is 5 to 7 minutes. If you don't get them excited in 5-7 minutes, you're done. So just do 5 to 7 minutes, give them 5 to 7 slides, and then let them ask the questions. Because every single investor is looking for different things. There are investors who are looking to invest in the jockey and not on the horse. They want to know who you are. There are investors who care more about your numbers. There are investors who care more about your business model, and you don't know what he wants. So you want to give them the big picture and then stop. Stop. Yeah? And then you give him the opportunity to ask questions. And then when he asks the questions, you will understand what he's interested in. And you focus on those things. And you can then, by the way, pitch all the things that you have in your appendix. Oh, that's an interesting question. Let me show them to you. And then there's 10 minutes discussion. And then the most important thing is the 2 minutes wrap-up. If you don't have that 2 minutes wrap-up, there's no follow-up. You want to make sure that there is something that gives you an excuse to follow up with the investor. Oh, you ask about my cap table? Let me send that to you. Or you ask about this technology? I will send you our white paper. Or you want to talk to our reference? OK, I will set it up for you. So the 7 minutes, 7 slides, and I'm going to do it like this because probably you know this. Number one, that should be in it, pain points, problem. 2, solution, benefits. 3, validators. Again, most important slide probably. Why you, the team, and the ask. OK, pain points should include, it should be real, it should be big, and you should back them up with real data. Solution, I don't care about solutions so much. I don't care about technology. I want to know how you're going to make money. Most entrepreneurs suck in it. OK? Validators, we run through it. Why you? Remember, the earlier stage you are in, the more we invest on the jockey and not on the horse. I want to know why I can trust you and how you're going to guarantee to deliver, take me to the promised land. They ask, this is where you're going to tell how much you're looking for, 200 at 2 or 25 at 100. What's their money so far? Validator. Who invested? Validator. Did you invest personally? Validator. OK? You want to tell the story. So, presentation, and this is, I'm going to leave it with this really 2 minutes ideas. Presentation. PPT is not a horizontal version of Word. OK? Please remember that. PPT is not a horizontal version of Word. Which one is your most important slide? Oh, you're good. You're advanced. What is your first slide? This is, if I had opened your presentations, I put money on it that 80% of you have a slide like this. You just wasted 10% of your time. 10% of your time. Imagine, TechCrunch competition. I'm down here. Robbie introduces me. This is up. And the gentleman, Dana's band from Flop comes up and said, hi, is the microphone working? Hi. You lost your biggest opportunity. The first slide should be an action slide. I don't care about your logo. I don't care about what time is it, which day it is, what's your position, where am I? Am I in Jerusalem at the OurCrowd Summit? All waste of time. Your most important slide is your first slide. Which one is your second most important slide? The last one. How do you finish? I put money on it. Most of you have a slide like this. Thank you. Huge waste. Now, if you're advanced, you may have this. Thank you. You just lost your second biggest opportunity. OK? With that, I finish up. Thank you so much.